Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Tiara and you just stepped into my spiritual world. In this video today, we're going to be talking about the 7 spiritual laws of success. This is based off of the book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra, a practical guide to the fulfillment of your dreams. This is an amazing book if you're on the start of your spiritual journey or your spiritual awakening. It really helps you just to understand and get really deep into the basics and the fundamentals of how the universe works. Because whether you're aware of it or not, the laws of the universe are always in play. They do not miss anybody. But the great thing about it is, once you become conscious and aware of these laws and you start to really understand how it is that they work, you can start to use it to its advantage and implement them into your day-to-day life to manifest your desires and be the creator of your own reality. In this book, Deepak Chopra does share some ways that you can apply these spiritual laws to your life, to your day-to-day life, so that you can use them to their full advantage and really benefit from them. In this video, I am going to share with you each and every one of these 7 spiritual laws and explain to you how they work, and also share some of my favorite ways to implement them in my day-to-day life. And if you want to find out all of the other ways or just go more into depth of each of these laws and really immerse yourself in them, go ahead and pick up this book. It's honestly a really easy read. You can get through it in like a day. It's also on audiobook on Audible as well, so go ahead and check it out. Let's get straight into it. So the first spiritual law is the Law of Pure Potentiality. This law is based on the fact that we all come from this quantum field of pure consciousness, of pure potentiality that has infinite possibilities, infinite dimensions, infinite ideas, creations, knowledge, and just pure bliss. From this field of pure potentiality, we manifested into a mind-body-spirit complex. And because of our connection to this field, because we came from this field, we have the ability to tap into it at any moment. This field gives us the power to make anything happen, to create anything we want in our present reality. This law really reminds us that we can become conscious creators of our reality. So one of the best ways to tap into the law of pure potentiality is to simply take the time each and every day to sit in complete silence. This means silencing your phone, not listening to a podcast, not reading a book, not watching a YouTube video, nothing of that sort. When we silence the mind, we can tap into the field of pure consciousness, of infinite possibilities, of infinite creation and ideas. This opens us up to that field and allows for literally anything to happen. Silencing your mind will help you to remain open to this quantum field of pure consciousness, bliss, and love. So Deepak Chopra recommends that you meditate for 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night. I know that this can be something that is really hard for people to silence the mind. I know so many of us always have thoughts running through our heads all day, every single day. Don't stop thinking. But honestly, if you even just start out with just doing 5 minutes for, let's say, 3 weeks straight, do it for 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. Just sit there with yourself in complete silence, clear your mind, focus on your breath. I promise you, you will start to tap into this feeling of bliss and love and get all of these great ideas and start manifesting what you truly desire and what you truly want to create. And then once you feel like you have that 5 minutes down for a couple of weeks and you got that down, you can start to add 5 more minutes to that. Do that for a couple more weeks, then add 5 more minutes to that. And then before you know it, you're meditating for 15 to 30 minutes every single day. I truly think that this is the key to spiritual development. The second spiritual law of success is the law of giving and receiving. This law reminds us that nothing is static and that energy is always constantly in circulation. It's always moving. And if energy ever stops moving at any certain point or ever stops circulating, things start to die. Just like your blood that's running in your body right now. If your blood stopped running through your veins and a blood clot formed, then your physical body will eventually start to die out. Money is a great symbol of this law because it represents the life energy that we exchange and use every single day as a result of a service that we provide to others or the universe. And with this law, you will also notice that the more you give, the more you receive. Being more generous to others will cause more generosity to you. The best way to apply the law of giving and receiving to your life so that you can give more and then receive more in return is to remind yourself wherever you go, whoever you come into contact with, give. Give something. You can give in many ways. You can give somebody a compliment. You can give somebody a hug. You can give somebody a gift when you come over their house. When you meet somebody for the first time, you can simply wish them well and give them a silent prayer in your head so that they experience joy and happiness and bliss. And then you'll notice that with this exchange of energy, the more you give, the more you will receive in return. Now we're moving on to law number 3. This is the law of karma, or the law of cause and effect. This law says that every action generates a force of energy or intention that returns to us. With this law, we have to become consciously aware of every single choice that we make. 2 questions that Deepak Chopra suggests that we ask ourselves when making any choice is, what are the consequences of this choice I'm making? And will this choice bring happiness to me and to those around me? So I'm going to give you guys an example so that you can understand this law a little bit better. If somebody were to leave a crazy comment on the bottom of this video, I have a couple of choices. I could either clap back and be really, really mean and hurtful to the person that tried to hurt me, or I could simply not let it affect me and move on with my day, wish them well, and just remind myself, hey, that has everything to do with them and nothing to do with me. If I make the first choice, I have to ask myself, what are the consequences of clapping back and trying to hurt their feelings? And also, the other question I have to ask myself, is this making me happy, and will this be making this other person happy? With this choice, this does have the possibility of negative consequences or a negative outcome, and me intentionally trying to hurt somebody else's feelings just because they hurt mine is not making either of us happy. But if I make the second choice of just letting it go, letting it be, and moving on with my life and being happy, then that has much more positive consequences behind it. And at the end of the day, I'm much happier and I'm wishing that other person happiness. Therefore, I would be generating much better karma with this second choice. So with that being said, you can see that you can use this law to create the flow of better things to you. If you want good things to come to you, you have to put out good into the world. Now, the law of karma can get really deep because we as human beings have past karma, whether that's from a past life or maybe just from not being consciously aware of the law of karma, whether that's from past lives if you believe in that, or from any actions you may have taken in life prior to you being conscious and aware of the law of karma. So then this leads to the question, how do we deal with past karma? And there are 3 components to clearing out your past karma. First, we must pay our karmic debts. This is something that a lot of us honestly unintentionally choose, especially because of the fact that the law of karma says no debt in the universe ever goes unpaid. A lot of times, paying your karmic debt can manifest as not the most enjoyable experience, especially if it's very heavy karma you have to pay. But the next thing that you can do is to transform or transmute this karma. So say you are going through a certain karmic experience. For example, this could come in the form of a karmic relationship. So then you have to ask yourself, as you're going through this karmic experience, as you are paying your karmic debt, how can I make this experience useful to myself and to other human beings? How can I learn from this karmic relationship? How can I learn from this karmic experience? Why did this happen? What message or lesson is the universe trying to give me or trying to teach me? You can transmute and transform the energy of this karma so that it no longer has a negative effect on you or a negative connotation in your head. This then will lift you and this karmic experience on a vibrational level. So say you are going through a very heavy negative karmic experience, and that karmic experience vibrationally is like right here. By transmuting and transforming your perspective on this karmic experience and saying to yourself, you know what, this is what I learned from that. I had to go through that in order to become the person I am today, in order to learn this lesson, in order to help out these people, whatever the case may be. You then take that karmic experience from here and you lift it vibrationally, and it's now risen to a different set point. This then will have a much more positive influence on you as a human being, which then leads to the third point, which is transcending your karma. By healing from your karmic experiences and by evolving from them, you will begin to notice that they no longer have a negative effect on you, and that you've now manifested into a greater, more conscious human being because of it. This will allow you to become the greatest possible version of yourself and align with the most optimal reality for yourself as well. So what do we do in order to benefit from the law of karma and start to create the flow of good things to us? We become consciously aware of our choices. This is every single little choice you make on a daily basis. Start to become consciously aware of them, and you'll begin to notice the flow of great things to you. We are now getting into the fourth spiritual law of success, which is the law of least effort. This law shows that nature functions with ease. It functions effortlessly. This law has principles of taking the least amount of action and energy, which creates less resistance in your life and more harmony, peace, and love. So to better understand this, think about how the sun rises and sets each and every day. The sun does not try to rise and set. It does not force rising and setting. It simply just does it. The moon does not force itself through its phases or try to go through its phases. This is something it does by nature. The same way, it's in human nature to fulfill our desires and manifest our destiny. There are three keys to the law of least effort. The first one is acceptance. Simply accepting that things are what they are. This leads to responsibility, which is the second key. And responsibility is simply not blaming anyone or anything for your circumstances, which then leads us to the third key, which is defenselessness. Because you have acceptance, because you have responsibility, there is no need to defend your point of views or perspectives, which then allows you more energy to fulfill your desires. All of these three components will lead to less resistance in your life. You will notice the more negative manifestation of these three keys when people do not accept their circumstances for what they are, when they just wish certain things were a certain way or are just not pleased with how things are at the moment. Sometimes these people will start to use the second key, responsibility, in a more negative way. They start blaming other people or blaming things on their external for whatever circumstances. And many times you will also see this manifest as people getting very defensive. They are then wasting their precious energy that they could be using to manifest a more favorable reality for themselves. And now they are using all of that energy to create resistance for any sort of opportunity in their life. You have to really think about and observe how much more energy it takes to put your focus and energy on negative things rather than things that are positive or just flow effortlessly or just come with ease. Simply practicing acceptance every single day will put into the effect the law of least effort. I like to use the example of like getting up in the morning and like spilling coffee or something on yourself. In the more negative manifestation of this, you could be super displeased with the fact that you spilled coffee on yourself and then start to blame the fact that the counter was wet or blame the fact that, you know, whoever you lived with didn't put something back in the right spot. And then you start to focus all of that energy to this experience that you're displeased with in the morning, which then blocks any sort of positive opportunities or positive possibilities that could have come to you that day. In the more positive manifestation of this, you could simply accept the fact that, yeah, coffee was spilled on you. It's okay. You know what? I'm still gonna have a great day. I'm just gonna change my shirt. You know, it's nobody's fault. I'm not blaming anyone. And now you're allowing yourself more energy for a more positive outcome for the rest of your day and more positive opportunities. The fifth spiritual law of success is the law of intention and desire. This is based on the fact that energy and information exist everywhere. Everything at its core is nothing but energy and information at a quantum level. This also brings us back to the field of pure potentiality. It's the same thing as saying the quantum field or the field of pure consciousness. This field is influenced by our intention and desire. So to use an example from Deepak Chopra's book, a tree and a human being at their core level have some of the same elements that make up their physical manifestations. But the difference between a tree and a human being is that those elements are formed with different energy and information at quantum levels. So this then reminds us, if we are made up of the same thing a tree is made up of, carbon, oxygen, etc., this does mean in a sense that the universe around us is an extension of us, of our bodies, of our minds, of our spirits. Therefore, this gives us the ability to influence our internal realities and our external realities. Our nervous systems are capable of becoming conscious and aware of its own energy and information, and the human consciousness is infinitely flexible. This means that you can consciously change the energy and information in your body. We see this all the time when people cure themselves of certain diseases and illnesses. Theoretically, people consciously go in and change the energy and information in their cells, in their nervous system, in their brain, to that of what they put their intention towards or what they desire. Another great book or great author that actually explains this in really great detail, which is actually one of my favorite books, is Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. He goes really into depth and talks about how we can change the energetic codes and information of our cells, of our minds, and our bodies to that of what we desire. This is actually a great way that people change their physical appearance as well. They start to go in and tap into their minds, their subconscious, their cells, and they just simply change the energetic information, the energetic imprint that's there, because it's already flexible. We can change it at our own will. And just as easily as you can change your inner world, your inner body, you can change your external world. All you simply have to do is tap into the energy and the information. We do this by focusing our energy and giving it attention. Attention actually energizes, and then our intention transforms. So how do you use this on a day-to-day basis? You make a list of your desires. I'm actually going to share with you guys an experience that I had using this law prior to even reading this book. This was probably a couple years ago. At the time, I desired to change the energy and information of my skin. I didn't know that's really what I wanted at the time. I just wanted clear skin, but this is what I did. I took a post-it note and I wrote, I have clear, smooth, beautiful, soft, even-toned skin. I love my skin. My skin looks so youthful. I have a glow from within, etc., etc. I wrote all of these desires in the present tense as if I have already attained them. And then I put it on my nightstand right next to my bed. And every single night before I went to bed, I looked at this post-it note and I read it. Every single morning, I read it. Throughout the day, I would often read it. So I was focusing my energy and my attention on what I desired, and I was subconsciously changing my reality, changing my perspective on my skin, myself, and changing the energetic information of my skin. The sixth spiritual law of success is the law of detachment. This law says that in order to acquire or attain any one of your desires in this universe, you have to release your attachment to it. Nothing that is ever meant for you in this reality comes by force. The only thing force does is create resistance. It creates a blockage between you and what you desire. We can definitely see this a lot though, because as human beings, we enjoy feeling certain. We enjoy feeling secure. However, through uncertainty, through insecurity, this creates freedom for many possibilities. Because of your fear of being insecure, because of your fear of the uncertain. Sometimes people can become attached to any one outcome that they desire. And if you become attached to a certain outcome, you will start to block and create resistance towards any other opportunities or possibilities. So just to give you guys an example, if I were to try to manifest $8,000 and I said this $8,000 is going to come to me through A, B, and C. If I start to settle into this desired outcome and be fixated on the fact that this is how it's going to come to me, I will then start to become so attached to that desire and that desired outcome that I will start to block it. Because with the law of detachment, it reminds you that the universe does the work for you. If I release my attachment to this outcome and I simply try to manifest this $8,000 and allow the universe to bring it to me in any sort of way, as long as it's under good circumstances, I free up blockages, I create less resistance, and this allows so much opportunity and so many possibilities. So if you feel like you haven't really discovered what your life purpose is yet, simply ask yourself if you didn't have to worry about money anymore, okay? Like, let's say you were financially free or money just didn't even exist anymore. Money was of no concern. What would you do? If you would do what you're still doing now, that means that you're truly passionate about what you're doing now. You are in some way or form living out your life purpose. If you would be doing something else, that means that you must be super passionate about something else, and you should find out how you can create a living and how you can serve humanity through what you are truly passionate about. So how can you start using the law of Dharma? Make a list. Make a list of what you like to do. Make a list of everything you enjoy doing. And then start doing more of those things, okay? Once you start doing these things, you will begin to notice how much more in a flow state you are when you are doing these things, how you just forget about what time it is, how you're just like enjoying yourself, you're one with yourself, you're having fun. And also observe how these things can be of service to other people, how you can make other people happy, how you can guide humanity in the right direction. And don't put so much worry into it, you guys. Eventually you will discover your life purpose, your talents will come to you, your life purpose sometimes finds you. Mine definitely found me. So those were the 7 spiritual laws of success, broken down to you guys, explained, and also some applications that you can use in your day-to-day life. I'm definitely encouraging you guys to really read this book. If you haven't already, really get into it, or listen to it on audiobook if that's your thing. Deepak Chopra goes so much more into detail and so much more in depth of all of these spiritual laws, so you can really get the most out of it, and so that you can really understand each law's full potential and how you can apply it to your day-to-day life. And I'm also encouraging you to really observe how all of the laws are also in a sense interconnected with each other, and how each of the laws have an influence on each other or even work in sequence. So that was everything from me today, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you have any questions or you have any other video topics that you would like me to touch on. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell symbol next to it so that you guys can get notified anytime I post a video in the future. And don't forget to send this video to someone or share this video if you found it helpful and you would like to share this information with other people around you. All right, you guys, I'm out. Don't forget to meditate today. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.